Happy Monday, everyone. I am so excited tonight for our talk. We are going to be talking about the importance of self-care. This is Mental Health Month, which is like my jam, which is, it's my whole wheelhouse. And so we will be talking about that, and we will be talking about how to choose you and how to continue to choose you, all the benefits of self-care and how self-care is not selfish. Okay. So stay tuned. Be back. I'll see you in 2 minutes. Hello, 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 and happy Monday. Happy Monday. Let's take a look and see who's in the room today. I am Omara Lee, your life coach, whether you know it or not. And today we are discussing self-care in the month of mental health, my wheelhouse. I love it. So, if you are just joining for the first time, please make sure that you have shared this broadcast, that you have set that little notification so that you never miss it, a broadcast, that you're always going to be on time, and that you can come every Monday and get your ammunition for the week. All right. If you are in the house, give me a shout out. Hi. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, everyone. You guys ready to push with me today? I swear, it just seems like every time, you know how it is when you start really, really working on something, it seems like God or life and God and life just gives you 1,000 opportunities to like fine tune that thing. It's like, oh God, I really want to be a good steward with money. And so then he gives you all these opportunities to make these decisions with your finances. Or you say, you know what, I really want to be patient. So he sends you all of these people to kind of help you work on that patience. And so we're in Mental Health Month. So of course, I have to be working on mental health as well, and really, really working and fine tuning that self care. And I have been needing it more and more. It seems like every month that has gone by, I'm like, oh, I need a couple of extra days. It seems like that Saturday, Sunday is not long enough anymore. It's like I need a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So just a really quick backstory. So I used to have Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays off, and Fridays was my self-care day. So I could do all the things. That's when I do all of my dates, and I do I have my lunch, I do my breakfast, I get my hair cut, I do all those things on those Fridays. And so now life has kind of changed a little bit. So now I'm working 5 days a week. And that leaves a little bit less time for self-care, and I am feeling it. So this topic is going to be like all month, because every time I talk to you and you talk to me, you strengthen me, and I can continue to strengthen you. So how's everybody doing today? You guys talk back to me. Let me see how everyone's doing. Hello, Jeanette. Hello, Teray. Hello, Karen. Hi, Karen. How are you? How have you been? This is self-care month. Please, someone tell me what you've been practicing this month. Have you been staying on top of it? And to my Instagram. Hey, Bree. How are you? Say something, say something. Oh, that was not good. Sorry about that. I'm moving too much. Oh. What time is it? What time is it out there right now, Bree? I think Bree's in Texas. That's what, 2 hours maybe? All right, so everyone's doing good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So in talking about self-care today, I wanted to just look at some of the roadblocks, some of the things that are hindering, I guess, or that can seem to prohibit self-care. And we talked about the plate last week. So let's just recap that first. The plate. And we talked about how all the things that's on your plate and how you have to be able to reach out for that lifeline. I think it was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? They would say, do you want to call a lifeline? So sometimes you have to reach out and call someone and say, hey, man down. You know, that's our word that I have for my inner circle. If someone calls or texts man down, that means drop everything. I'm going down. And so you have to have that lifeline, someone that you can call, someone you can reach out to kind of pick you up and kind of pull you back in. And so this week I have been getting some things off of my plate, and I'm hoping that you guys are doing the same. I'm hoping that you have taken off some of that stuff, and not just to make room for more stuff, but really taking that stuff off of your plate and seeing where I can fit in some self-care at. So if you have done that this week, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that even if it's just one thing that you got off of your plate, this week. And so I know yesterday was Mother's Day, right? And so in Mother's Day, there was a few things that people wanted to do or wanted me to do. And I'm like, I'm a mom of 6 children. I have 6 reasons that I should be able to choose what I want to do with my day. And I pretty much did. I pretty much did everything I wanted to do. But I did not get enough rest. So in that, I did learn that although we're pushing things off of our plate, and although we're reorganizing and we're restructuring some things, there still has to be that moment where you not only look at how you're getting things off of your plate, but how important the things are that you already have on your plate. Okay. So self-care, how do we find the room for it? How do we make time for it? What is too much and what is not enough? Okay. Now, this is what I wanted to look at. Now, when we're talking about time, there's always enough time for everything that you're supposed to do. Someone told me that many years ago. I used to always say, I don't have enough time. I ran out of time. I ran out of time. And he said to me, he said, no, there's always enough time to get everything you're supposed to get done. Give me some feedback on that. I want to stop just for a moment, just saying that there's enough time in every day to get done what you're supposed to get done. What do you guys think about that? Because when he told me that, I started thinking about it and I was like, wow. Yeah, you're right. Now, while you're thinking about that and responding, talk to me. I spoke on Instagram months ago about how to make your Mondays pop and how to make that to-do list. And if you didn't know where your time was going, there's this paper that you can do, or just any scratch paper, where every 15, 30 minutes, you write what you're doing at the time. Just every 15 and 30 minutes, you write down what it is that you're doing. So just follow me on this, because this is like an awesome tool. I'm not going to reteach it. If you did miss it, go back to some of my earlier, not like I got a million of them, so it won't take you long to get to it, but just go back to like some of my earlier Instagram videos where I discussed those every 15 to 30 minutes. So let me start from the beginning. If you're not aware of where your time is going, you have 24 hours. You're going to sleep 8 of that. If you're healthy, you're going to sleep at least 8 of that. So the rest of those hours, you have fulfilling what should be on your calendar. Now, if you're one of those people that all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, okay, so I gotta go here and I gotta go there and then I gotta do this and then I gotta do that, and your to-do list has a to-do list whose best friend is a to-do list, then it's possible you don't know what's going on in those 15 to 30 minutes. You don't know what's really going on in your day. You're not living your day. You're going through your day. You're just kind of getting through it. So you get up in the morning, you're just happy to be able to go and get into bed at the end of it. But every moment has a purpose, right? If you remember, okay, so show a little bit of, it's not really my age, it's my mom's age. Just saying. You remember the soap opera that it would come on, Days of Our Lives? These are the days of our lives. Like it sounded like as the sand goes through the hourglass. And you had a big old hourglass on the TV, and you see the sand coming through, and it's just going away. And literally, though, these are the days of our lives, right? It's this constant moment. Time is not waiting for anyone. It's going to keep going. It's what you do with the time that you've been given. We all have been given. I think I like that, Terry. I'm gonna put that up there. He said we all have the same 24 hours. So when people are like, oh my God, I had the same 24 hours you did. Now, I seem to be chill. So we all have the same 24 hours. Okay. Now, going back to, I don't know how to get the squirrels to come, but I gotta have a lot of squirrels tonight. So y'all got to keep me focused. So now the paper, this is what you have to do. You get a piece of paper and you start off your day. You get up in the morning. From the time you open your eyes, you write down every 15 to 30 minutes. If you have an Apple Watch, Fitbit, I don't know, whatever you have, cell phone, you're going to set your timer for every 15 or every 30 minutes. And then you're just going to keep that paper with you. And whatever you're doing, brushing my teeth, on the phone, watching Omara, calling Omar, whatever you're doing every 15 to 30 minutes, that's what you write down on the paper. And then at the end of the day, you go back and you look at it. And you begin to see how much time you're actually spending in all of the activities that make up your 24 hours. And you'll be amazed at where your time is going. I realized that a lot of my time was going to phone calls. I work from home, and I have for the last 17 years. So in working from home, I think it was just this misnomer that I'm at home doing absolutely nothing. So you could call me 75 times a day. I'm supposed to pick up whatever I'm doing. It's not important. Besides, you're at home. So I found that even when I'm working, every time I stopped to get on the phone, that was 30 minutes gone, an hour gone, 2 hours gone. And I said, whoa, I'm spending a lot of time on the phone talking to people who aren't making me money, talking to people who aren't necessarily on my to-do list at this moment. So I had to learn how to not answer my phone. It was chaos, absolute chaos, because people didn't understand it. Why aren't you picking up your phone? If I didn't answer my phone, they would call my children or call my spouse or these things trying to get me on the phone, because it was just like, no, you're going to answer the phone. I'm going to talk to you. And so I get it. I understand how hard it is when you're trying to draw that boundary and say, hey, I cannot continue to do this. So you're getting that paper and you're writing down all of the things that you're doing within the day. And so you do this for about a week, because every day is not the same. So you may have where, for me, Mondays are like, go, 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 go. It's the first day of the week. I'm making everything planned. I'm checking my calendar. I'm making appointments. I'm talking to people who are not on my appointments. I'm doing all these things because it's Monday. It's the first day of the week. For other people, you may be off on Monday. So every Monday is not the same. So you want to do this for about a week consistently. I mean, to the time you get in the bed, you're like in the bed. And then next day, getting out of the bed, just waking up. Whatever it is that you're doing, then that is what you're going to keep jotting down. By the time you get to the end of the week, then you should be at this point able to just lay those 7 papers down and look at it and say, okay, so this is, and just get a highlighter. So what I did, only because of my personality, I just kind of like color coded it. I just got like the color pencils, and I was like, okay, red. Every time I was on the phone, it was like red. It was like red on the phone again, just red for the phone, blue for social media, so all the things. So then when you get to the end of the week, you're then going to look at it and see, and then start putting the time up. You're going to add it, start adding the time. Okay. And then after you're done, you're going to look and see, where is the majority, the bulk of your time going. Now, this works not just to find out where your time is going, but it also helps you find out how much is actually on your plate, how much you're actually doing in the day. If you're a person that I do also use the phone, I that is how I make money as well, is talking on the phone. So if you are one of those people who you talk on the phone for business as well, then write down, say phone call B or phone call P. Was it a personal call or was it a business call? Okay. And so then you want to kind of get all that together And you are going to be amazed. You really are going to be amazed. The things that we think we're not doing are right there. And also the things you think you're doing are not there. So it's like you get to the end of the day. I used to get to the end of my days and say, man, I'm exhausted, but I've done nothing. And it's called toiling, where you're just kind of just spinning your wheels. You're moving a lot, you're doing a lot of things. And it's kind of like, if you have children where you tell them to clean up, but they just really picked up the dirt from one place and put it in another place. And as you're going through the house, you realize it's the same mess. It's just been moved around. So that's kind of like toiling. You're just kind of moving and you're just going and you're like, it feels like you're doing a lot. And you get to the end of the day and you're exhausted, but then you go back and somebody says, oh, Mom, did you remember to make my appointment? No. Did you remember to do this? No, because you just spinning, but not really being productive. Okay. How does this fit in? Well, before I even go any further than that, any questions? I will check and see if there's any questions. So let's see, I'm going to scrub a little bit. I don't know what I did with it. Okay, so let's see. Oh, okay. All right. Right. Oh, so that's what it was. Like sands through the hourglass. And so it's okay. Oh, and so is the days. That makes so much sense. Like sands through the hourglass, and so is the days of our lives. Man, who would have known? A soap opera. Okay, so is that why you don't call me? I can't make you my All right, so Stacey, I gotta put this up, guys, because she's just a dork. So when I was discussing, I was saying that so my phone, I like literally have to push it away and not pick it up all the time. And she said, is that why I don't call her? She can't make me money, but she can make me laugh. And so I like that because there are moments where I do, and I'm going to add you to the list, okay, Stacey, of the people who make me laugh. And I really literally have a list of the people who make me laugh, because when you are going through those days and you're having those moments where it's like, it's one of those days. I told you guys a couple of weeks ago that is an emotion. And when I have those days, I do need to go through my list of the people who make me laugh, because you need someone to help. That's my lifeline, to boost me back up and be like, it's all right. You good. Let's go. Keep going. Keep going. So everybody has to have one. Thank you for that, Stacey. So what do you guys think about the list? Is that something that you think might help? Will it be beneficial? Or do you think you kind of got that part on lock? Because I didn't have it. I did not have it. I was like, I just felt tired all the time, and I just thought it was because my children was running around and I had that, and then I had daycare, and then I had the other business. I just had so much stuff going on. I just felt like I was just one person that had too much on my plate. But I realized that even with the things that was on my plate, I was doing a whole lot of other things. So give that a try. That was like a commercial break, but I can tie it in. What does that have to do with self-care? Glad you asked. It has a lot to do with self-care, because a lot of the things that we have on our plate that's taking up time, that is unnecessary, that's not bringing any benefits. And I'm not saying that talking to your friends or talking to a relative does not bring any benefits. But what I mean is, if you could take that same 30 minutes and meditate, or take that same 30 minutes and get your nails done, or take that same 30 minutes, go get a haircut, take that same 30 minutes and just sit and do absolutely nothing. Sometimes that proves way more beneficial than that 30-minute conversation. Yes, even with you, Stacey. Same, even if we're laughing, sometimes I can be like, that was a nice conversation, but I should have got a haircut, or I should have went and got, whatever it was, time will not stop. That's the whole thing that I've been looking at this week. We're talking about clearing off your plate, made me really have to look at time again. And I was here probably about, I don't know, probably a year ago, where I started really looking at time and what I'm doing with my time. And now I find myself right back there again, because we're talking about cleaning off your plate, knowing what's on there so that you can make time for self-care. That's the main thing I hear people say. I don't have time. I would like to do this. I would like to do that, but I just don't have the time. Of course you do. You have the time. You have to look at where your time is going and figure out, is this as important as I thought it was? And it doesn't mean that it was never important. Sometimes something was important and needed to be on your plate in April, not in May. In May, it's kind of gone down in the ranks. So now something else is important. Okay. So, and you should be doing this every month, just reevaluating. Look at your calendar, look and say, oh my God, I am out of control. Sometimes looking at your calendar tells you a lot about your personality as well. So, and this also helps with self-care, because when you look at your calendar, whatever is on your calendar and keeps repeating, and you see a lot of the same theme, tells you what's important to you. And so some people at once upon a time had so many things on their calendar, and never did it say spend time with the kids. It never says spend time with the family, take a weekend off, go here, go do that. Read a book to your daughter. Sometimes family is never on the calendar. And family can also be self-care if it has not been there before. I hope I'm making sense. Sometimes even self-care can become, sometimes family and spending time with your family can also be considered self-care, because your family are the ones who kind of boost you. They're kind of the ones that's like that clear. They kind of give you that extra boom, boom. You know, they love you through it. They encourage you. They push you, you know. So sometimes even adding people into or onto your calendar is self-care. And we are going to talk about that because, you know, self-care can sometimes be misconstrued as selfish. And, you know, it's a slippery slope. And I understand that, but we want to make sure that the self-care, I want to make sure that I mentioned that self-care can also involve others. It doesn't always have to be solo, but self-care can be spending time with a loved one, spending time with your cousin, spending time with your best buddy, or, you know, your homeboy, your brother, your whoever. That's also self-care, saying, hey, what are you doing? Hey, let's go shoot some pool. Let's go, whatever. That's self-care. So let's see. You guys talk back to me. How are we doing? How are we doing? Let's see. It's so Jeanette said, but aren't I losing time every 15 minutes to write things down? All right, so we got a whole bunch of mixed nuts tonight, right? So everybody wants to be a comedian, right? Okay, you're not losing time by writing it down every 15 or 30 minutes. It's very simple. You take the paper, you write down reading, phone, parentheses, B. Work, checking emails. I know I don't have one. I don't have a copy of any that I've done, but you know, it doesn't have to be a long paragraph of what you're doing, and no one's going to see it but yourself. So, and I apologize if I laughed at it and you were being very serious. So let me just respond to that seriously. Sometimes, yeah, I guess if you were thinking in your mind that you need to write this long description. It's for you. You know what those things mean. So even so, it is within that day. So if you just write down, I don't know, let's groceries, going to the store, um, driving, because sometimes you can say sometimes you might be on the road for 2 hours driving, 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 that's fine. You just want to make it very, very quick and very simple. So that's my apologies for not being more clear about that, writing it down every 15 minutes. But to be able to just say, okay, this is what I'm doing. And it doesn't have to be long. Actually, the paper that I got, it was like the boxes were maybe 2 inches. So it wasn't a lot of space to write much. So all I could do is just put like 1 or 2 words. And that's really all you need, to just kind of be aware of what you were doing at the time. So if I'm like, phone, mom, I know I was on the phone talking to mom, So, so thank you for that question. Oh, that's awesome, Karen. She said that she has a 2 o'clock friend. She can call at 2 in the morning if she needs to, and that's good. That's excellent. Those are the lifelines. Those are those lifelines. And we talked a little bit about what we do when all of our self-care is not working. Karen, we had discussed this a couple of weeks back, that when your self-care is not working and you have that lifeline, that sometimes you need to call someone else that can kind of pull you through, just to kind of get you in, dust you off a little bit, stand you up, and then push you back out there. Okay. So, and I think what I would love to do is, to kind of put together some things. I know I use a lot of terms when we're in my Mending Mondays, and I try to make them very, very simple. I've had someone asked me, well, why didn't you use this term or that term to describe that? And I was like, because this is not like a terminology class. It's not something where I'm using, therapeutic words. Also, because I'm not a therapist, although I am still in my studies, I don't want to turn it into that. But I would like to kind of break those terms down, those things that I have discussed, as far as like coping skills, how to make a coping box, how to choose and decide who's on your 2 o'clock list, who's on there. I had a situation last year where I was in a discussion with someone and we were going over their coping list. And there was about 3 people that they had on their coping list. And one of the people on her coping list had a similar diagnosis, similar issues, similar problems. And the question I asked was, if this person's on your lifeline, are they suited to save a life? Nothing against the person or judging the person's personality or who they are. But if you and I share the same issues, it's okay as long as we're both okay. Now, if I'm at, let's say, a stage 10 in my recovery, let's just take alcoholism, and I'm at stage 10 in my recovery, and the person on my lifeline is at a stage 3. Is that going to be conducive to what I need at 2 in the morning outside of a bar, trying not to go in? So that's what I mean, as far as making sure that your coping list, the people that you have on there, are going to be effectual at 2 in the morning. Okay, so those are just some of those things that come in when you're doing this self-care, and what is it that I'm going to prepare for myself, being able to move forward. So yes, Um, oh, okay. Okay, so that's good. So she's saying that she has the same. It's a reciprocity there. So she can, so she can also call her friends so they can do it to one another, and so that's awesome. That's awesome to have someone in your life that you know has your back and that you can also have their back. And so that is extremely, extremely awesome. So, how are we doing? Are you guys still with me? Give me thumbs up. Bree, are you still with me? Um, let me know if you guys have any questions, any comments. Now is the time to. Now, and while I'm waiting for that, I do want to drop this little nugget. So, sometime this month, I will be also adding in a Zoom. Now, what Zoom will do, it will allow you to actually speak to me live. I know that some struggle to kind of type quickly, and then I talk fast. So by the time you get your question, I've moved on, and you're like, maybe she didn't see it. Maybe she's not going to go back, even though I do try to go back. So it will be actually it will actually be going concurrently with my Instagram and my Facebook. And so when that is ready, I will let you know. Just keep watching my Instagram, watch my my Facebook, and for more information on that. And so I would like some feedback from those who are in right now. What do you guys think about that? Is that do you think that the Zoom would be helpful? Do you think it'll be a hindrance? You guys know I get like squirrels. So would that be like too many squirrels at one time? But I do know that some have said they would rather be able to just talk to me real fast, say their question or their comment. I might have to mute some people, Stacy. But just to go ahead and be able to say what you want to say on Zoom. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So Instagram is saying that it would be helpful. Good. Okay, so just keep looking out for that and stay tuned with that. For right now, we still do thumbs up. That lets me know that we're good. Okay. So where are we at? Right. So knowing what you're doing with your time will also allow you to now free up some time. So what is the time? Wait, hold on. Let me see. I want to see Stacy's reaction. Okay. Some people need a filter. Okay, so time and self-care. So how much time is really necessary for self-care? I am going to tell you that 1 minute of self-care can save an hour of frustration. Okay? 1 minute of self-care. And I promise you, I'm not making that up. 1 minute of self-care can save you an hour of frustration. As you know, I practice meditation. I practice breathing techniques. There's a lot of tools that I use to get myself through the day. And 1 minute of just sitting in silence and following your breath, just for 1 minute, can bring you from a 10 to a 2 and allow you to get through a whole hour of a stressful event. Just 1 minute. Because in breathing and taking the time to just follow the breath, meaning just, that felt so good. I promise you. I'm not even like messing around. That felt good. Just taking 1 minute just to inhale a deep breath. Now, when you're inhaling this breath, and maybe I'll do a class on that. I don't know. You guys got to talk back to me. Let me know what you need. But okay, this is not part of tonight's discussion, but I'm going to do it because I'm here. So when you're taking in a deep breath, you breathe into your nostril. Now, I know you guys have seen I want you just to get in your head now. Imagine those commercials, what are they, like Afrin or the things that, you pump it in your nose, and they always have it on the commercial. They say how it goes all the way up and it goes into the nose and it goes all the way down. It goes down your throat and into, okay, that's the flow of the breath. So when you inhale through your nose, like you see how my shoulders, you don't want to hold it here. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to breathe it in through your nostrils. You imagine it going in, down, through here, all in this stuff that goes on in here. And when it gets into the belly, you want it to push the belly out. You want to fill your belly with as much air as it can hold. Any singers, hey, Tamara, any singers, Tamara, will tell you that that's a part of pushing out or belting out those them notes, and so it's the air that you can trap in your belly. So when you inhale, fill up the belly, and then what you want to do is just hold it for a few seconds. Now, what that does is it slows the breathing down. Okay, so your heart rate slows down, your breathing slows down. So if you're experiencing anxiety or you're going or certain things, and you're getting those heart palpitations because of whatever the interview's going to start, or the person that you're having this meeting with is about to come in, or the confrontation is scheduled in 2 minutes, whatever it is that could be having that, or you're scheduled to speak at an event and it starts in 2 minutes, so whatever's happening, what you're actually doing is what I have told you from day one. You are dominating the breath. Yeah, I love it. So, because we're created to dominate. And so when you take in the breath, imagine it going in. Just imagine it going towards your belly, and it will go towards your belly. Literally, you can control it. Imagine it, and then let it fill your belly. Hold it just for a few seconds. You don't want to hold it till you pass out, but hold it for a few seconds and then release through your mouth. But look, now when you release through your mouth, don't try not to go. You want it to be slow. Like if you can imagine a balloon, you blow up a balloon, and you know how you have it, you're holding it and you just let it out just a little bit. It's like that. Yeah, that's what a balloon makes. I know Stacey's going to say, is that the sound a balloon makes? Yes, it does. So just let it out a little bit, okay? So that the air can just kind of come out a little bit. That's how you want to breathe it out. So you take it in, fill the belly, and then you breathe it out. Right? I know. You're like, that was a long time. That's control. It's control. It's taking in the breath, holding it, and then breathing it out. The slower you breathe it out, the more you calm down the heart. The heart, if it's going, it'll slow down and you can get it back to normalcy. Okay. That was an extra nugget for you today. Okay. So that's following the breath. That's self-care. If you don't have time to do anything else, I just taught you how to save some time and some jail time, possibly, or whatever other thing that you can get yourself in, whatever kind of trouble, by not taking that time to breathe. Inhale through the nose, follow the breath. Now, what does that mean? I'm sorry, I did never answer that question. Following the breath. Once you've done that a few times, then what you want to do is just breathe normal, just like I'm breathing now. But what I'm doing, if I wouldn't be speaking, so I would just I'm just following it. So my concentration, what follow the breath means is concentrate on the breathing. That's all I'm doing. It's just concentrating on the breathing. And what that does is in concentrating on the breathing, you're no longer concentrating on the trigger. Got it? All right. So that is 1 minute of self-care to save you 1 hour of a stressful event. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Thank you. Cash App donations, all of the things. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I want you guys to try it though. You have to try it because it's awesome. It's awesome. And it literally can be 1 minute. I actually have on my my Apple Watch, it's called Breathe. And it's free. I've never had to pay for it. I know people who have paid for it, but it came free on my Apple Watch when I bought it, and I've had it for years. And it literally goes off at different times throughout the day, and it just says breathe. And what it does is it tells you when to inhale. It tells you when to exhale. And then it'll tell you how many breaths you took in a minute. So it's just 1 minute cycle, but you can tailor it however you want to tailor it. And when you're inhaling and you're exhaling, it's monitoring that. And it will most definitely tell you how many breaths you're taking in a minute. And when you start practicing more and more and more and more, then you'll start noticing that your breaths per minute go down. They decrease. And it's just because you're learning to kind of get to this kind of flow of being really, really calm. Okay. And I'm 47. And every time I go to the doctor, they're like, whoa, you have the blood pressure of like a teenager. But I know it's because I practice the breathing techniques. Okay. So I know that. So it works. It's so helpful. And it's just 1 minute at a time. And I've actually been at the doctor's office with people who have had high blood pressure, or their blood pressure was high, and they just began to meditate, and that thing came right on down. Okay. So was that helpful? Thumbs up, claps, hearts. I love those hearts. When the hearts go all the way up on the Instagram. So can you guys give me hearts if that helped at all? Hey, Connie, how you doing? All right, so I'm going to go and see if are there any questions. Yes, I can be funny when I want to be. All right, so we're good. Everybody's good. Okay, awesome. So do you think that you could, I'm going to ask you another question though, but do you think that this is something that you could practice? I mean, just for a minute, I mean, since I did it anyway, it wasn't part of tonight's discussion, but since I did it, is this something that you think is doable, that you can maybe practice this and try it? I would love to hear some feedback next week if you do. And let me know how that worked for you. It may become a whole new part of your life, your everyday ins and outs. When I was in school, I would do it in between classes, just to clear my mind of what I just took in, give my brain a break, some fresh oxygen, and then would go to my next class afterwards. And I'm fresh, I'm relieved. Before I would take my exam, I would take a minute and just sit and not do anything, no pencil in hand, no nothing, and just get ready for what I'm getting ready to go into. It's very relaxing. The fresh new oxygen oxygenates the brain cells and all of the cells going through your body, and it's freaking awesome. So, self-care. Yes. And being able to see what's on your plate. So from last week, did anybody start working on that? Did we get anything off of our plates? If there's something that you got off your plate, Put it down there now. I want to know. I want to hear about it. Let me know something that you took off of your plate in order to put in self-care, and what did you put in its place? If you're just coming in, I am Amara Lee, life coach, and we're discussing self-care in this wonderful month of mental health and how important self-care is to your health. Not just your health, your business, your relationships, your family. Self-care is just, it's amazingly important. So I don't know if you've said hello to me, but if you have just come in, don't be shy. Say hello, say hi, so I can wave and love on you. So having gotten things off of our plate and now moving into making time for the self-care, you see that a minute is all that's really necessary to get started. But there's other things that you can do as well when you're working on that self-care. Self-care can be exercising, getting more exercise. That's self-care. I know a lot of people are like, it's still the vid out there. I'm not going to no gym. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. This is something that also can be very, very helpful. Hey, is to, it's simple things. So let me help with the exercise. If you, let's just say you're going to the grocery store, do not circle the parking lot waiting for that person to move from right in front of the store. Park all the way in the back, all the way in the back where there's no cars, where people don't want to park, where even the birds don't poop at. That's where you want to park. You want to park where you need like binoculars to see where the store is so that you can get those steps in. Just walking those extra steps to get into the grocery store or to the mall or wherever you happen to be going to work. You want to park further away. That's extra steps you have to take to get to where you have to go. Boom. That was self-care. That was a little bit of more exercise than you would have had you just circled the parking lot and waited for that person to back out of the parking lot or chose a handicap spot. I hope you don't ever do that. But that would be self-care. If you are, out to eat, this is one of the things that my girlfriend does it all the time. And I started doing it. I noticed that my other girlfriend that hangs with her does it. But when you have a salad is healthy until you put that dressing on it, right? So what she does is she gets her dressing and she leaves it on the side in a little cup. And instead of pouring it on top of her salad, she literally gets it on the fork and dips it in her salad dressing. A simple tweak that saves a bunch of calories, right? Because I know I used to eat my salad, and when I was done with my salad, I had soup. I had like a dressing soup, and I can literally put more salad on top of it and eat the salad. So in doing that, that saves you calories, less sugar that you just intook, and intook a word? That was less calories that you ate. Let's just put it that way, because I'm not sure. But in doing that one simple little tweak, it makes a difference. Okay. Teray said, I like a little salad with my dressing. Right. Exactly. So changing your sugars. For those of you who drink coffee in the morning, try it black. Just try it black. I know people are like, are you crazy? I'm not trying it black. Well, if you're going to put a little creamer in there, try to go for like a non-dairy creamer. If you're going to put sugar in it, use monk fruit sugar or some other type of sugar that's not the kind that's going to give you diabetes. Okay. So there's little tweaks that you can do. All of that is self-care. It's self-care. I had a girlfriend years ago, and she used to say every time she would drink soda, because she loved Coca-Cola, and she said every time she drinks Coca-Cola, if she drank 4 ounces of Coca-Cola, she had to drink 8 ounces of water right after. And so as good as it would have been for her just to not have the Coca-Cola at all, what she did was she started drinking the Coke, and then drinking the water. And then if she had like a 32 ounce, I was like, you got 64 ounces of water, boo, and I'm gonna wait for you to drink it. And so it began to start this thing of her drinking more water. And eventually what she started doing was drinking way more water, less Coke, way more water, less Coke. And I don't know if she does it anymore because I haven't been in touch with her in many years, but I'm hoping that maybe she doesn't drink soda at all now, but it's little tweaks, it's little things that you can do for self-care that you don't have to all of a sudden be a health guru. You don't have to all of a sudden be like, namaste, namaste, meditating 22 hours a day. You don't have to, all of a sudden become one with nature and you're out there freeing, horses. And it doesn't have to be so, grandiose. It doesn't have to be just this huge thing that you're doing. It can just be little tweaks until you can get comfortable in the little tweaks and then start adding a little bit more, and then just practicing a little bit more. So Connie said yes, that she definitely will be practicing this week. Yay. We definitely want to just try these little tweaks that help us along the way, that help us a little bit. One of the things that I know about this era, this generation, and I'm not saying generation like generation X, Y, Q, whatever, wherever we are. I don't mean that to say like younger people. I'm just talking about this time, 2021, is that everything is digital. Phones, laptops. I mean, it's everything's digital. It's everywhere. And maybe self-care for someone is just simply taking an hour where they turn off their phone. I know. Breathe into the nose. Hold it. Breathe. You're going to be okay. Let's slow the heartbeat down. Slow it down. I know people who just, like literally, if you go in their room at night, the phone's like right here with plugged into the charger, so it's going to be okay. You'll be okay not answering the phone for 1 hour, because guess what? There's somebody else out here running the show anyway. Life will go on. Remember, we said that last week. Everybody say it with me. Life will go on as the world turns. It'll keep turning and turning and turning. If you turn your phone off for an hour, I promise you. And you'll turn it on and they'll probably go, what's this thing? I think they said that it's going to, if you know anything about this, just tell me. They were saying that the DSM-5 was thinking about, they were thinking about putting in the DSM-5 this, what is it? FOLO, or fear of missing out, fear of being left out, fear of something. But that it was like this true fear, that people are very fearful of being kept out the loop. When I was growing up, that was called minding your business. And life is not fair, and you'll get it when you get it. And if you didn't get it, you didn't need it. But in this era that we're in now in 2021, the fear of not knowing, the fear of missing something, the fear of it's so intense that it's literally causing fear of missing out. Thank you guys. Fear of missing out, FOMO. Okay, so they are saying that this is a genuine fear. It is causing anxiety in people. They have to know. They got to know what's going on. They have to pick up their phone. They have to. And I don't care what excuse we give. A lot of times we say, well, I only answer my phone because this. I answer my phone because that. I answer my phone because I have kids. I answer my phone because I got work. I answer my phone. Everybody's going to have all the dots of why they do what they do, why they do what they do. But if you're one of those people that you just gotta, it's just this thing that is just, yeah, I'm kind of with, I'm kind of with you, Stacy. She says she prefer YOLO. You only live once, you know. Spend your time doing something that's going to be productive. And I love that because I'm gonna leave on that. And it was not a hit against anybody. What I'm saying is, and I'm not saying just because I walk away from my phone, I can do it, that everybody should do it. But what I am saying is that if it's to the point where, you know, you're up out of your sleep because your phone's ringing. You're stepping outside of your job because your phone's ringing, or you're risking your job because your phone's ringing and you have to answer it, or have it on your wrist, or have it in your ear, or be connected at some point or time. Then you may want to take out the FOMO and put in the YOLO. Okay. Just for an hour. And if you can't do an hour, I get it. Do it for 15 minutes. And for those 15 minutes, just sit in quiet, and do it in the middle of the day. That's the challenge. Do it when life is going on. Do it when everything is, because that's when it really counts. That's when we really need it. That's when we need those breaths. That's when we need to breathe and to think and to clear our minds. That's when it's needed. When you're going and going and going and going and going, stop and just take 1 minute, save yourself an hour of a stressful event. Okay. All righty, guys, that's it for me. Again, I am Omara Lee, your life coach. Every Monday here at 6 p.m. from 6 to 7 on Facebook, and now Instagram, and soon to be Zoom. So you guys just watch out for that, because I would love to just talk and to hear your voice, and be able to have some dialogue, because I miss that so much. I love to be able to give to you guys, but I also just like to just hear and have that kind of connection. And we'll see how it goes. And if it get crazy, I will cut it off and we'll never do it again. So just, we're going to work our way into the Zoom. Okay. We'll work our way into it and make sure we're on our best behavior. Okay. But I do have some things moving, some things in the works. My YouTube channel, as I had discussed last month, is getting worked on. And so we should be up and running sometime this month to be able to have my Mending Monday streaming on many different devices, so that if you are not a Facebook, or you have been trying to get maybe a friend to come in and listen, but they're not Facebook, they think it's for old people, then you got Instagram. And if they don't want to do Instagram, they got YouTube for those who are those YouTubers. And so I want to make Monday everybody's favorite day of the week. Okay. So I do thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, give me thumbs up, and I will see you guys next Monday. If you are coming in at the tail end of this, stay with it, watch it from the beginning. And if you have any questions or anything that you want to relay to me, do it in the chat, or you can always reach out to me for any kind of consultation if you needed to, or if you just wanted to just, send an email or whatever, to contact me, you can do so either through my website or by dialing 951-567-8117. All right. Thank you guys again for coming in, and I will see everyone next week. Bye-bye.